Hello and welcome to the Dragons readings for this week. Every week we gather here in Dragon Practical Magic and ask the dragons for the week's theme. So the focus that we need to clear out, or what we need to think about, or the action from the soul so that it can come through more and more and more. So how we can express ourselves better, how we can operate in different ways, how we can let the soul express herself through us, the spirit of our business express itself through us. That is what we're here for. And this is what the dragon cards are all about, so that we can start to operate in different ways. That being that we are in the process of ascension. So we have been on the slip road, getting onto the motorway, in other words, really fast frequencies. And you'd be daft if you hadn't realized about the equinox, the full moons, the new moon, another equinox, planetary alignments, all these things that are going on this year is all about the line in the sand that's being drawn so that we are going to be operating in different ways. The frequency is going to be much, much higher. We need to get used to this frequency. That's why there's a lot of aches and pains in our body. That's why our worst fears are coming to the surface, because we need to clear those out. We need to do the inner work. We need to understand what we need to do and able to bring those about so that we don't keep focusing in on those again. So if by chance you are stuck in your mind, that's okay. If you're stuck in your mind, this is happening anyway. But what I'm here to do, what the dragon cards are here to do, these are the dragon cards that I'm using, that I was downloaded by the dragons to help you ascend, to help you operate in different ways, to match the frequency that we're diving into. And when you have the frequency of what you want to create, we need to be able to match it and dive into the frequency of it. And this is what these messages are all about. And this is where your superpower is. So if you're open to it, we will tap into these messages from the dragons, the dragon team that I have, the 8 dragons with their 8 messages each, so that we can awaken your consciousness. We can go in it with in a deeper way, no matter how awake, intuitive, spiritual you already are. There's always more work to be done. We will be here to the end of our days, always clearing up what we've learned and what's gone on before, and what our soul wants to know, what our soul wants us to know, and what she wants to know, what she wants to experience in this lifetime. If you can imagine that this is the planet we came to learn how to create and move our way forwards in doing things in a very, very different way. This is the planet that we're on. This is the planet where we can make magic and miracles happen. And what, as one of the cards often says, you don't know how powerful you are. And the mind is a magnificent tool, or a huge wrecking ball. We need to be able to get in, marry with our soul, marry with the spirit of our business, and let all of that come through. So I'm really, really thrilled to be here, to be in your presence. So today we're going to access the wisdom of the dragons. My name is Fiona. I am a conduit, I am a channel, and I am a representative on these particular dragons. They are an incredible energy from source to help us ascend. And this is as much as a weekly activation, as much as for your personal awakening and ascension, and how you need to operate in different ways. I just got an image then. So I'm thrilled to be here to help you marry with your soul, to set you free, to understand the messages that are coming through from the spirit of your business. When I work with someone, it's not that I tell you what's going on. I can feed back, I can verify for you, but you are getting to understand how you deepen into the conduit, how you get into flow, how you are meant to be operating as a spiritual being. But we've just been in our heads for too long. So sometimes you need a little bit of a prompt. So I'm not telling you what to do with your business, what to do with your life. I'm helping you get the information for yourself. So as you listen to the messages as they come up, make sure that you've picked a number that really resonates with you. Like, was it number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4? And listen and notice when that card is read out, how your body talks to you, how it responds. The message that you chose So you can feel through it, the sensations, the vibrations, and be conscious of what's happening around you and what needs to be coming into your knowing. So whatever you get, let that go and then begin again. We're always beginning again. If you hear the message once or twice or 3 times, it'll be different for you every time, because as I'm speaking, there's information that's coming through with the card. I pulled some cards out for a client the other week, and the answers were not in the cards, but they were coming through as the information that I was gathering and understanding what the message was all about. So the message comes through in the voice of the card. So, dragon message for your focus this week. Yeah, you'd have to be nuts not to realize that how your body is being affected by the energy changes, the frequency changes, the equinoxes, the moon, the alignment, all the rest of it, and why we're feeling so tired and why we ache so much, why your mind is throwing up all these worst fear scenarios. So this is a different way of operating for sure, and we need to know that we are going into having to drive on a very, very fast motorway now. Like, oh my God, I need to get my vibration higher. I need to sustain this. I need to understand how to operate in this on the motorway. I've been used to driving on the country roads. Now manifestations can happen so much faster. So this is where we're at. So now let's focus and just find out what's going on. So what I was told the theme about, to sort of as an entry into this week about your focus, is it's a little bit like as we go off the country roads and into the motorway, using that as the analogy, it's a bit like being an adolescent learning to drive, and all of a sudden you have to be a grown-up. My God, you're on the motorway. So being an adolescent in life, we're about to change, and you might resist that because it's very, very different the way we're being asked to operate. But as an adolescent, or as someone driving on the country lanes, or as someone who's not used to working in this particular way, and we're all having to sort of relearn and do things in a different way. There's a different structure. So an adolescent, is being supported by mum and dad, is being supported by society. So, and maybe you've been treating your life and treating your business in particular in that way as well. Like, well, my business is there. It's going to support me. It's going to send me clients. It's going to send me money. I'm going to earn through this. I'm going to do this through it. I'm expecting you to support me. I'm expecting you to provide for me. I'm expecting you to deliver growth. I'm expecting you to deliver rewards in abundance. But you really need to realize, where are you not building a relationship with your business or with your soul, so that you can give them the same in return? It is a relationship. If you had a relationship with someone and you were just expecting all the time, what's going to happen? They're not going to stick around very long. But what the soul does, and what the spirit of your business does, is they have soul interventions, and certain things are pushed into your way, into your path, that makes you kind of go, oh my God, why is that happening? This is awful. So it could be aches and pains. It could be lack of finances. It could be relationship problems. It's all this kind of stuff. So it's time to recognize the consciousness that's in everything, including, your soul, including the spirit of your business, including your car, including your home, and respect it, serve it, and partner with it. So this week, your challenge will be to drop the need to control, surrender into the cosmic consciousness that flows through you and flows through your business. When you do, you'll receive ideas, insights, guidance that go beyond anything that your mind has been able to give you so far. There's radical wisdom that you'll be searching for and waiting for answers, and you'll have been pointed to that all the time. So pick a card, 1, 2, 3, or 4 from your selection. Then you can just say, what do I need to focus on this week? And be willing to see what it is. Be willing to step into the unknown. Be willing to do things that frighten you. Be willing to get out of your comfort zone. Release the fear and all of the, I don't know, and allow spirit to express itself through you. Notice what you notice. Notice what you're being shown. Raise your energy, and one of the things that I'm doing for April is I am selecting a very, very few, like 3 people this week, to have a body scan and to have a business scan and listen to what the body's telling you, why you need to change, and listen to what your business is telling you as well. So the link for that will be below, but just DM me and just say, I want to scan. The first come, first served. If you put yourself in there, I'm going to give you a reading and we're going to be answering some questions. So your business is alive. You are alive. Your business is alive. It is a living, breathing entity. It's a powerful force of creation. So are you ready to create with it? We're going to drop into the stillness and we're going to listen when we pull out these cards. So one of the main things that I teach is, how do you get out of the way so that you're not just taking things from your head? How can you drop into the silence and let go of your head? Step to one side. Like when the dragon said to me, I want you to do readings, Fiona, in this group. And I'm like, well, I don't do that. And the answer came back to me, well, it's not you that's doing them. So how can you drop out of your head? And this is everything that I want to be able to teach you. So drop out of your head right now, really listen into what the dragon cards are asking for you so that you can start to operate in this much faster, higher frequency. I'm going to shuffle the deck and we're going to pull out card number 1. So there it is. It's come out already. Thank you very much. So the theme this week is all about what can you focus on? How can you go through? How can you get rid of all your control and everything else? So this is where we are right now. So the main theme was stop being such an adolescent about things and start doing things differently. If you keep doing the same thing, you'll keep getting the same answer. So this is Raphael, and this is card number 24. And he is talking about sowing seeds. Your earthly success is in sowing the seeds. So let's look up number 24. 20, 22, 24. And let me read that to you. And as I read it to you, absorb it. Feel what it feels like inside your body. And listen with new ears. Listen with your ears of your body so that you can see how your body's responding to this. It's so tempting to view your life on earth in terms of success and failure and pin a badge of pride to what finances you've accumulated and the rewards directly received for a specific activity. Success on its own is to sow the seed. Sometimes it's not meant to go anywhere right now. So we're talking about moving away from being in the country lanes, going onto the motorway, moving away from being the adolescent, not really understanding how to operate in this fast frequency and manifest what it is you creating your reality. And Raphael is telling you exactly that. Sometimes you have just allowed yourself to see that business is there to support you. Your house is there to support you. Your car is there to support you. Your partner, your parents were there to support you. But what are you doing? How are you putting your message out there? Or are you just sitting and waiting for things to turn up? Now, it's okay. It's just a human trait. There is a tendency to believe that maybe your desire or your projects or products are not compelling enough when things stop working for you. You feel pressure build up and expect to be rewarded all of the time. Well, there's the adolescent again, isn't it? Like, well, that's not fair. That's not what I came here for. All the effort and hard work that you've done. But because you've sown the seed, it is now anybody's personal choice as to whether their free will from their soul, as to whether they move forward with you or not. If they don't feel your frequency, if you don't feel aligned, if you don't feel authentic, if you don't feel real, if you don't feel purposeful, if you don't feel driven, if they don't feel the communication from their soul, they're not going to do it with you. Here is an opportunity to investigate your underlying beliefs. They lie behind what earthly success looks like and feels like to you. Maybe you don't believe that you can do this for everybody that you come across. Or is this where you really need to be able to ask your soul and your spirit, is this the right project? Is this the right purpose? Is this the right business for me? Is this the right relationship for me? Is this the right partnership for me? Is this the right subject for me? You really need to be able to always take it back to source, always take it back up and be asking really potent questions. You're going to say, what's next for me? What's coming through for me? So rather than just saying, well, I've got a business and that needs to support me now, and that's it. I need to be able to pay my bills. Like, no. How are you asking, being a spiritual being, how are you going up and asking, what's next for me? What's my next role? How are you serving the greater good? So you can feel if there is a soul-to-soul connection when you're working with someone, and what that soul, if that soul wants what you're offering. Maybe there's a bigger purpose for you to follow, and that you're playing too small, not actually realizing your destiny for this particular lifetime. Knowing this, we can make it happen if the others are ready. If not, then you have sown a fantastic seed, and it's the soul work and of itself that will get you the greater success. That is soul work with no expectation for your direct reward, and then it has to look or come in a certain way. And that's reminding me of a business reading and a scan that I did for a lady. She was writing this amazing book, loads and loads of different authors in there. And the reading came through for her about taking her name off the book, taking her name off the business. And this has happened a couple of times now with readings that have come through. And each lady was like, but it is mine, like, it's mine, it's mine. And all the message was coming through was, take your name off it. But what I had to translate that as was, it's not yours. You are the counterpart. It's not your business. How would you operate if it was the business that you were working for that business? It doesn't need you, it chose you. So how about you take it from a different perspective? You try and understand from the business perspective, what does it want you to deliver? How are you to turn up? Take your name off and then just start listening and looking at the business, and all the pressure disappears. All the pressure. So let's just see if there's anything else coming through here that would be, okay, here we go. So you are here for a bigger reason than to continue in the old ways, where generations have been doing the same things in the same ways ad infinitum. Now you get to know and trust that your needs are fulfilled. You get to create your own world and deliver your soul work, to sow the seeds and see what else is possibly available to create out of practical magic. Practical magic is when you allow the spirit of the business, when your soul, you allow the hand of God, source, universe, spirit to come in and start giving you opportunities, ideas, events, people, and you think, God, I've never seen that person before. Why do I keep seeing this person? Or why am I keeping hearing the same messages? Like, that's the message for you. Take it up. Find out if you're to work with this person, or find out if you're just to listen to this person, and start asking spirit to help you. Things that have never been created before will come through you. Spirit will express itself through you. We talk about new inventions, new novels, new films, new methods of coaching, new ways of loving and living in this new paradigm. Welcome to the new world. Raphael, thank you so much for that message. That's very potent. And every single time I hear that message, it is very different, and different things come through. So listen with new ears, drop out of your head, allow yourself to be tethered up to the heavens and touching the soul of the earth, and find out what the message is really, really meaning for you. Take the in-depth look. Right, moving on to card number 2 now. Let's just see what flicks itself out of the pack with this particular theme this week, that we need to stop stop being the adolescent and allow ourselves into everything. Okay, so this is card number 2, which is Sovereign, number 33, 36, no, 34. All right, the first of the cards from Sovereign. Sovereign is the Dragons specifically asking you along your path to connect and to know yourself as a soul, as a spiritual being. That is where you have your power. That is where you know exactly who you are and what you are. So her message, integration is at the depth of everything as you become whole. As you come home, this is you connecting, understanding who you are, how you operate, dropping out of your head, dropping out of the way that you were working before, and starting to integrate and marry and let your soul be part of your life, to partner with you. Let's see what she has to say about this. Your rich, evocative senses are calling you. All of them are using every means possible to call you to remember, reminding you that you are soul. When you have reunited with your body, your mind, and with yourself as soul, you will have been bringing all of yourself beautifully together. We, the Dragon Clan, want to remind you, and it is well worth explaining, that it has never been done before, that humanity evolves in such a way to be connected and seeing and operating as their soul, while still in the flesh and bones physical body, living day to day on Earth. This is why previous evolved humans have needed to isolate themselves for certain amounts of time in order to experience and get acquainted with this high level of vibration. So all this year, we will just be keeping on getting higher and higher levels of vibration in incremental steps. And so it will continue. The lane, we're in the fast lane, it will just get faster and faster. Manifestation will become easier depending on what you're thinking and feeling. So we're moving away from the adolescent driving on the country lanes, and we're moving into being the adult, the grown-up, moving and driving in the fast lane, and we are beginning to understand how we operate at these higher frequencies. Your energy and the sovereign state is everything from now on, and you get to consciously and completely attend to your energetic state first. It's quite a step to take and to live with one foot in each world. One where you're attempting to expand your vibration and experience this living being, gracefully integrated your mind, your body, and your soul, still having one foot in the needs of the human and knowing the world of the spirit in the other. Where you are still being parents, workers, colleagues, because you're always tied back to the lower vibrations and your need to survive. Yet, it is doable with care. It is doable when you put a filter around yourself to filter out the lower vibrations, and the negativity is where the majority of the population are. You will be a very sensitive, conscious, joyous being when you reach what's on the other side. Please ask for assistance. This exists for you. Ask via your soul and communicate to the souls of others. In vibrational ways, you can send out your request. When we see the souls connected, they are human beings, but they are standing in a tube of light, a conduit inside each person, and like a channel from head to toe, reaching far into the sky and then reaching deep into the earth. That is when the mind, the body, and the soul are aligned, when they are all connected, when they are working together, and it's a practice to home in and to perfect. Okay, last bit. Connecting feels like the body acts like your barometer as it internally responds to this powerful connection. And it feels like you are taller, stronger, stretched somehow. You feel sovereign when you are connected. Your belly contracts and you feel tethered from below in the earth and safe and supported with strong foundations. So we've been looking for outside of us to support us and help us feel connected, and our businesses to provide for us, or our parents to provide for us. When we go and work on the inside, This is what we are asking for. We're asking for the inner strength, that sovereign state that guides us forward. No accidents can happen to us when we're connected in our sovereign state. You will be guided away from tragedies and all sorts of different things. And you'll be guided towards opportunities when you lay them out and decide what those opportunities are that you want to experience. When you're in the creator zone, which is what we're going into with this faster field and faster lanes of traffic, using that as an analogy, you will be the creator. You get to decide what you're creating. Not that you haven't already, but you don't like the creations that have come about, but you haven't necessarily put new creations in there and actually articulated what it is that you want to create. I hope this is helpful for you. If you have any questions, please let me know. I am doing a scan of you and your business this week. There will be several that I'm doing, maybe 3. And if you want one of those, the first come, first served, so that I can talk to you about your business. I can talk to you about what's going on and let your business tell you what it wants from you. These cards were channeled through me for this particular reason, so that you get to understand what part you're playing, how you need to alter your energy, how you need to alter what's going on for you, so that you can light up the world, so that you can make more impact, so that you can do more things with your soul, with the spirit of your business. And it's just so much more fun and joyful. So cards number 3, we're going into card number 3. And the theme for this week is moving out of the slow lane, moving into the fast lane. Stop being the adolescent and complaining that things aren't going well for you, and start creating. My goodness, they are very punchy today. Card number 3, let's see what flies out of the pack and wants us to play with her. Okay. Bloom. We love Bloom. Bloom is one of the most playful cards because she wants you to amplify whatever you're feeling now, whatever joy you're feeling, whatever level of joy you're feeling now. Like, boom, let's amplify that. Let's go for gold. Let's have more fun experiences with that. Let's amplify the love you feel. Let's amplify the frequencies you feel. Let's amplify the vibrations you feel, the sensations, all of it. Like, let's amplify that. And this is really where Bloom is. If you think about Lady Gaga or Pink, they're not quiet. They're like, no, I want this. This is what I want. And they go for it big time. So Bloom is asking us right now, freedom. Feel the free flow of life force energy in every cell, movement and thought. Can you listen to that with new ears? Number 48. And just see how that resonates within your body. Drop away from your head. Don't let this all be a head state. Listen with your body. If you could listen to something with your shoulder or with your heart, it would feel consciously very, very different than when your head is listening to something and it's flatlining. So let all of that go away. Connect yourself up to heaven and earth. And I shall read this card to you and you shall get your activation. It's interesting, this view you have of life with all its variations and manifestations as something that has the need to be solid, reliable, foundations, walls, boundaries, and imposed limitations. Oh, think of glass ceilings as far as how much you can earn. It seems to need to be made reliable to support you. And for your life looks as though it had to become so still and serious and static. It looks like you're hanging onto the sides of the swimming pool. Well, in real terms, all life moves and grows and weaves and changes, flows, expands, loops and flourishes. Let's talk about swimming and dancing with life as movement. I want to explain something. When I listened to the frequency of each dragon, when the messages came through, they have to use like 10 words to explain the feeling. So I get the feeling, I can feel the feeling, I can feel the frequency of it. And to decipher that, I need to, and they give me certain words that allow you to then understand what that frequency is. So this is the way that frequency works. This is the way the dragons send their messages through. The world around you is made of life force energy, and energy is pulsing and vibrating. A frequency, a wave that moves constantly. The flow of life is movement, yet you are still sitting in meditation at your desk, in your chair, waiting for inspiration. The world and all the energy around you and inside you has become static, still, and stagnant, when the opposite of what is needed now. The energetic field is not static. It is freely moving field. It is energy, so it moves. If it's static, it will break down. It will get rotten, brittle, and snap and crack. So the movement is very necessary, the same as the movement and flexibility of your body and your spine. All of the moves and flow are requested to be integrated. All of the up and down, all of the sideways, all of the in and out. The energy is like a cellular membrane. It pulses and adjusts like a dance. If you want, you might like to see energy as jelly or a net or something like that, but it is moving. It has a current running through it like a jellyfish. I just got a picture of a jellyfish. And get that current moving, you are asked to go beyond simple walking or running in a straight line. You're being called to feel the ecstatic life force energy running through you at your very core. My goodness. So this is about Bloom asking you to not be just driving in a straight line, not to be driving on the country lanes. It's like, where's the ecstatic bit? Where's the excitement? Where's the adventure? Where's the woohoo? Where's the loud music? And then where's the peace and where's the tranquility? Like there's a whole new realm of energies and frequencies and things that we can move into. Don't let start life get sort of, I'm being told, middle-aged or frumpy. Or grumpy or complaining. We need the energy to be moving and yelling and screaming and playful and luxurious and then peaceful and tranquil and just watching the flowers grow. We need all of it. All right. I'll see if there's anything else in there that needs. So she's all about the free flow of movement, radically tips the balance and helps you clean your filter that's around you, the membrane, which is known as your aura, that goes all around you and keeps you in a good place mentally and physically and spiritually, and guards you constantly from being affected and influenced by any negativity, exhaustion, and sickness. So we need to get off the, watching the news and politics and all those kind of things or violent films. We need to really get into, our own experience of ecstatic dance and liveliness, and none of that is with the solidity of the edges of the swimming pool restricting you anymore. I hope that's making sense, because this is all about how do we go from being an adolescent waiting for things to support us, like having straight edges or doors to go through or steps to take. This is about fluidity. This is about life force energy. Let's go for card number 4, shall we? And see what is going to pop out of that about how we can start moving now that the energy's changed, now that we are actually driving. There we go. I feel again. Driving in the fast lane. All right. Okay. So number 19. Oh, perfect. First one I opened. Raphael. He is very patient, but he wants the best for you. He is like your favorite professor, and he will just keep giving you the same messages over and over and over again. But at some point, he will get fed up. The evidence you required is here, he says. The pulse you feel inside you to change and play a new game is really strong right now. You feel compelled to turn things up, turn things around, and yet you require the evidence to know that you're on the right path. You feel you can do this only if you have the evidence that it will work, that it's guaranteed, which is when you are living with the feeling of when your desire has been delivered. Maybe your desire is a life of ease or feeling 100% alive, experiencing life and everything that life has to offer. So imagine that as being a millionaire, for example, when it is actually the other way around. If you are able to feel your dream as already here, I am that, I'm certain of that, I'm fit and healthy and rich and in a good relationship and loving my house and loving my work. If you are able to feel the dream as already here and being experienced as you live through your day, this would feel lighter, easier, and everything is working out really, really well. You can feel the change inside your body when I say that. So if you go into the state of everything is working out really, really well, you'll feel the altered state on the inside of you that shows you, well, I'm not worried about it anymore because it's here. Why would I be keeping on talking about it? Well, it's here already. I've imagined it, therefore it is. Everything that you think will happen, can happen, does happen, and you have to still keep sending the feeling for the evidence to arrive. So imagine that you already knew that you were a millionaire, or you had that new house, or you had that relationship. Why are you still sending out the message about, I want to be a millionaire, I want to have it? Because that's showing you that you're not certain about it. So, and then of course, if you're showing the world that you're not certain about it, what's going to happen? You're not going to be certain about it, so it can't come. You're going to get all the things that sort of aren't evidence of that. Again, it has an expansive feeling when you have what it is that you want. A deeply satisfying feeling, warmth, comfortable, safe and adventurous, exciting and fun, spontaneous, like leaping without a safety net, and trusting that there is a safe feeling inside your body, that there are no limits to the human body, and that you will land safely, that the edges of the body are very fine and light, and that you have access to everything you want because you are constantly creating and filtering your experience. This requires, says Raphael, who's your professor in this, the mastery of your thought, the mastery of your mind, the mastery of your overthinking, analyzing, looking for evidence mind. This requires a level of trust from the personality to allow the spirit and the soul to think in a way that is limitless, light, exuberant, looking for spontaneity, looking for excitement, full of life, pleasant surprises, and trusting that everything will be okay. You are in a time on this planet when you are being asked to play a bigger game than ever before, and believe that before there is evidence in solid form, that your desire is being birthed. To play and to play at believing is to change your character, to change your role that believes that you are something other than you are. Fake it till you make it is an expression that you human like, but it's more than that. It's really stepping into the character, a character that believes, truly believes, that there is a bigger picture at play and that you can mold and create this the way you are. Sometimes when you play in this character, it's easier to walk your life through as this character. So you might think, well, how would this character walk? How would this character dress? What's the one action that this character would do, knowing that everything's already sorted out? That I'm a millionaire, that I've got this house, that I'm in a good relationship, that my boys are safe, that I've got all the money that I need coming in, that I'm fit and healthy. What is the one thing? What's the action or two actions that I can take today that shows the universe, yeah, it's here. I've got it already. I'm certain of it. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind. So we are on this planet for a reason, to create, to have fun with it, without getting stuck in all the sensible things, static energy, and trying, even spirituality and creating your new reality, expanding your consciousness has become a really serious matter. So there is so much more to becoming a good businesswoman or living the life that you want. It is all about, you know, when you drop into Manifest with the Dragons, or one of my other programs is like personal ascension, personal growth, self-love, awakening, connecting to God, connecting to the universe, connecting to source. It helps with your mental health. Oh my goodness, so much. It helps with your physical issues so much. So success doesn't come from having the thing that you want. Success comes before that. It comes when you can imagine it, when you can live it, when you can breathe it, when you're taking action on it. You may have heard this many, many, many times before, but we are in the phase of the evolution of the planet right now where we really need to be, instead of just knowing it, they were actually doing it. I was speaking to two of my clients last week, and they're new clients, and they said, well, I've known this for ages, Fiona. Like, well, why is it changing? So, well, because you're still not acting as if it's already done. You're still not living it, not breathing it. You're still thinking, I know it, I know it. You're taking everything from the mind and the head rather than actually showing the universe, yeah, I can take the day off today because I've already earned the money that I need to earn. I can go to the gym, I can go for a long walk. So you see how you're acting in a different way. Whereas if you're acting still, it's waiting for the money to come, you think, well, maybe I should just do a little bit more in my business. Maybe I should do something else. Maybe I should go on these calls now. Maybe I should listen to someone else. Maybe I should do someone else's challenge. The message that you're sending out is that you're not there yet. And the more money you post around the house and do all your feng shui and use your crystals and everything else, why are you doing it? The intention is that to attract money. Well, why would you do that when you've already got all the money that you want? In your frequency, in your imagination. That's the difference. If you've got any questions about any of this, this is why I've been given this to do. I will never tell you what to do. I will help you get the guidance that you need by dropping out of the mind, by surrendering and letting go the mind so that you can listen to the guidance that's coming from within, that's coming from your soul, that's coming from the spirit of the business, that's coming maybe from the dragons for you as well, or whatever your spirit guides are. My name is Fiona Robertson. I'm here every week to help you ascend, to help you have a life worth living, to feel 100% alive, and to create the success that you want in this life that you want. Is there anything else that I need to say to you today? All right, here we go. You've got to create your life like an Olympic athlete. What would an Olympic athlete do? Practice being in the character. And that's what my groups are all about, changing the story in your head. You know, it's already here. So we really, really need to focus in on that much, much strongly to show the universe, yeah, I've got it. I know it's here. So an Olympic athlete will have seen themselves winning, will have seen themselves on the podium, will have, you know, they have their coach with them to help them remember that they are winning every single day, every single hour. They're winning. So what is it that you want to experience? What does your soul want to experience in the next version of your life, in the next phase of your life? And let's make that happen together. You're not meant to do this on your own. It is a massive turning point when we go into the fast lane.